18104-106. John, good morning.
Morning, how are you, sir?
Your thoughts on Kinahan?
My thoughts on Kinahan, right? How these guys are allowed to get so powerful, just like John Gilligan, the General, and all these guys, is down to the lack of enforcement on criminality by the Irish government, right? Now, Daniel Kinahan was in court yesterday, Neil, on his own. No, he didn't secure a lawyer at that stage, yes. But not alone should he be standing in front of a judge, right? There should be hundreds of thousands of people standing with him. And by that, I don't mean supporting him. I mean in the dock with him. Because how many people on a Saturday night, Neil, are it's just normal now. It's like going for a jar. You take a little snort of cocaine, whatever. You have the connections. Every town, village, the smallest little village in Ireland now, you can get drugs. And every single one that's taking drugs, they're not making the connection with criminality.
Yeah, they don't connect the dots. And I don't want to come across as preachy or in any way like that, but people don't connect the dots when it comes to their lines of cocaine at the weekend.
Yeah, they don't connect the dots between the criminality, the murder, the mayhem, everything that goes with that. And so Daniel Kinahan shouldn't be on his own side in that court, stand in front of a judge. There should be hundreds of thousands of people. Every single one that takes their little shot of cocaine in the weekend should be standing there with him because you're just as guilty. We don't care about our society, the mayhem that's going on, the drug taking, the pressure that's putting on the health sector that's already overburdened. They're just complete selfish traitor to every decent standards that we have in this country. And as regards the government...
It's kind of hypocritical, I know, when you make the point like that. It really is.
It is completely like... And again, as I said, the Irish government have left these people get as powerful as they did. When they slaughtered a young woman in the National College, a young mother, Veronica Gearan, the cab was set up, Neil, right? No one got up off her, a big fat ass at the time, right? The Minister for Justice. And
steady on. Let's not personalise things.
No, but the point being, like, I mean, she wasn't doing her job as a Justice Minister, nor the government, right? Why couldn't they set up, like, if you go back to Al Capone, that's what they actually got Al Capone, and not the murdering, the mayhem and everything else, and the smuggling, it was on tax. And these guys will get too powerful, the same as the Kenyans got too powerful, because basically the governments and numerous ministers for justice were not doing their job. And as regards the government, yes, so we just...
Okay, interesting that you bring that up, because I've texts on that. This is not the government jet. It's the peoples of Ireland's jet, and should not have been used for this purpose, to bring Daniel Kinahan back from Dubai.
So we just procured this now, they're costing 53 million or whatever, right? And it's now being used to ferry criminals around the world. I don't think the Irish taxpayer is happy with that. But then again, we're not happy with it.
Gillian says, how much did that cost to fly him over in a private jet? Andrew says, no doubt he'll be let off and they'll fly him back in the government jet too. That's a bit tongue-in-cheek. Who's paying for it? Says Lizzie.
We're paying for it. The fools that we are.
But how else do you get... he's got to answer the charges in court and the proceedings must continue, as you know, right? I hate saying things like this, but just to remind innocent and prove guilty. But he's a very, very wanted man. So they had to find some safe and secure way of getting him back. And you wouldn't put him on a domestic Aer Lingus or a Ryanair or a BA flight from Dubai with 200 or 300 other people.
No, obviously not. But we have the Air Force jets there. The few miserable ones that we have, something like that.
You're going doing it again. Why would you say something unkind about the Air Corps? What did they ever do to you?
No, but the fact is, what little Air Force that we have, I don't see why the government jet are supposed to be used for government business, right? That the Irish taxpayer is happy with criminals being thrown around the world.
Yeah, no, I'm seeing that. I am seeing that. Okay, we covered a lot of ground, actually. Let me put some of those points that you made to Nicola Tallant, who's the investigative editor of the Sunday World newspaper. She also has Crime World podcast, which is a super podcast. Thank you, John. She joins me. Nicola, good morning.
Good morning.
Slightly off topic, but here on Leeside, people are wondering about why Kinahan would come back on the government jet. Do you have any thoughts on that, or is that irrelevant?
Well...